Want to do a quick rundown of what I did with this list. I fought Necrons again. Not my favorite army to fight right now. In fact, they're just broken. I'm sorry. I played a guy who's been playing for 2 months, and I lost by 5 points because I can't kill anything. By round four, I'd killed two models, I think. Uh, Now, that's not to say I didn't kill like little guys, but I killed two important big models. Um, I did end up destroying both of his Catan shards, which was new and different for me. Normally, I don't have the damage output in T-Suns to be able to do that. So, to actually take both of them down made me really like this list. And I made several mistakes. I don't usually lose to baby seals. He was a new guy. I gave him lots of tips and stuff, but I didn't take it easy on him. Right, I wanted to win, and I lost by 5 points. My secondaries were pretty bad, um, but overall, I really love this list. I would absolutely play it again. I might make some minor changes. Um, the Demon Prince is awesome. His melee is just fantastic. His shooting's okay. He took out the Diviner, Oricon the Diviner, the guy who gives the Warriors a 4-up invul for me. So I used a CP to precision him out of the squad, which then the next turn I just destroyed the rest of the unit. Um, the Sorcerer on Disc I had leading, what do you call them? Zangor Enlightened. And I had both two of them for that. They're mostly just about board control and movement shenanigans, secondary objective scoring, that sort of thing. And to have a couple sorcerers to cast some spells, of course. Um, this is a Warpforged Cabal list, so this is with the new defiler models and all of that stuff, which is I didn't like them the first time I played them. I've just got messed up with them. This went much, much better, but then again, it was just like my dice the first game were terrible. My dice were fine this game, um, and they are the thing that took down the Catan shards. Once again, they are big and bulky and stupidly hard to move, but the 12-inch movement is enough to make them worthwhile, and then the 4-up Overwatch is also quite good. Um, Threw a Zangor Shaman on there to have the Perplexing Cloak and just kind of zoom around. The Lone Op is helpful, and I wanted him next to my Demon Prince to give him Lone Op because he has the infantry keyword. Pretty sure, yep. Infantry mounted, so he gives Lone Op to the Demon Prince. Um, and then he's also -1 to the Demon Prince gives him stealth essentially. Um, I healed up a few times with a biomechanical mutation on my Forge Fiend, or not, yeah, I think it was on a Defiler, I mean. Chaos Spawn just held my home objective. Had two Defiler builds. These were my loadouts. I meant to bring multiple las cannons and didn't. I forgot to upgrade it or update it in the new recruit app for whatever reason. So this is the list that I took. Two Forge Fiends, couple Hell Brutes. Their Battle Shock ability was pretty pointless, but they honestly did quite well in melee. Into Necrons, of course. They actually did really well, way better than I expected. I've never played Hellbrutes before because their data sheets are kind of trash, but I wanted some melee in this list, and they're only 110 points, so why not bring a couple hard-hitting Dreadnought melee units? They certainly do better than the Mauler Fiends, in my opinion, when it comes to their close combat. And they also have heavy flamers when you take two of the melee weapons, which isn't accounted for here. But you can see it is legal to have that on there. I just forgot to click it. So two heavy flamers. Boop, boop. See, still legal. Same thing with both. So both of those had that. And I'll just delete this one and duplicate that one. There we go. So that's my actual loadout there. Sekitar robots, they scored me a lot of points this game. He couldn't kill them very effectively for some reason. Not really sure why. Maybe the things he was shooting at them weren't great. You know, like I said, he was kind of a new player. He was a very new player. Zangor and Lighten just held my expansion objective, and they basically stood over the whole game. We played Scorched Earth and Tipping Point. And on a really weird layout. I don't know where the heck he found that layout, but it is what it is. I didn't object, and we played it. Fake Astrobows, they were just there for the Exalted Sorcerer on disc to have something to lead, so they got the 18-inch loan up. And he mostly just ignored those, which I think was a bad idea because they're just so fast and score so many points. Yeah, this was my list, and I did not take the Meltaguns on the Sekitar robots. I took the Claw and the Pyro, the little flamers. I didn't update that in the app when I made this. I play on Tabletop Simulator, so this isn't my exact list that I used, but it's pretty close. Because like I said, so I'm just letting you know what's inaccurate here as well. Overall, I would absolutely take this list again. These little guys are fast, good scoring units. If you can keep them hidden anyway, and the 18-inch loan up from the Sorcerer on disc really helps do that. Demon Prince actually did some work. He's the one that killed an entire blob of immortals, or not immortals, warriors by himself, basically. So that was useful. Got Cold the Horde last round because of him. And what else? Yeah, so that's my list. The reroll, the detachment rule does reroll a hit roll, a wound roll, and a damage roll if you're next to a sorcerer. And I was able to really control where my sorcerers were and where my vehicles were, so that worked out quite well. And it's only for the vehicles. I completely forgot to use my +1 to wound stratagem, which would have really helped several things. Like anytime I was shooting a Catan shard, it would have been nice. I probably should have remembered the best stratagem that I have. So it's been nearly a month since I played though, so I was bound to make some mistakes. I used this once, but then I realized that it had to be a Psyker unit, so I screwed that up and never used it again. I did not use Malevolent Animus. That one, I don't use it very often unless I really need to kill something that has like -1 to something. This does mortal wounds if they step on an objective that I've made sticky, which is really good. But he never came into contact with that. I had no need to fall back and shoot because he was playing Necrons and he was playing a shooting army, so nothing happened there. This is the +1 to wound that I just mentioned that I didn't get a use because I forgot about it. I used a ton of grenades, and my Doom Bolt was on point today. Blew up lots of stuff with that. I tried using hex-marked armor several times, and I screwed that up. It was fine, but hex-marked armor is basically armor of contempt. And when I needed it, it wasn't important. So he did charge me and got Warp Flame gargoyled, so it's essentially reverse tank shock. So that's awesome. That's the first time I got the chance to use that. He did pass the battle shock test though. And yeah, that's kind of how that game went. Super fun detachment. And probably my favorite detachment in all of Thousand Suns right now. I'm just over Grand Coven. Grand Coven's just kind of boring. It's been around. It's basically the detachment that's been out since the beginning, and Games Workshop wants to just make more Space Marines detachments rather than give us anything. So here we are with our 6 detachments and being ignored by Games Workshop, which sucks. You know, I'd really like to get some more rules for my army to play and have some fun with, but Games Workshop only wants to give Space Marines new detachments, and I think they're up to like 17 now while I sit at 6. And well, several other armies sit at 6, being ignored. Thanks, Games Workshop, for letting me spend thousands of dollars with you just to be ignored. And yeah, I'll be not spending any more money with Games Workshop most likely anytime soon because they just keep raising their prices, and that's a whole other conversation. So why would I give them more money when they just ignore my army and don't really let me get new toys? So anyway, I hate Games Workshop. Love their games though. So best of I hope you let me know if you try this list or what your lists are in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later.